What's up? What's up, y'all? I'm trying to see why. There we go. Instagram finally catching on. Instagram a headache every time. Yeah. Okay. So we live everywhere we need to be live at. How y'all feeling, man? It's been a crazy, crazy week for me already. I was going to do my weekly Zoom. People were coming in a little slow, y'all. I don't like it. I don't like it. If you ain't there in the first 5 minutes, I'm getting off of there. If I get a few people in the first 5 minutes, I stay on there. But it's a free thing that I do every week. So technically, I'm obligated to start it, but I'm not obligated to stay any longer than necessary. And I wanted to get on here and address some of the things that's been going on over the past few weeks. If y'all familiar with me, then you know that I'm pretty straightforward. I don't do a whole lot of yelling and cussing and all that stuff, but I do talk the way that I talk in real life. I'm not the most abrasive person in real life either. But a whole lot has been going on over the past couple of weeks, and I wanted to get on here and talk about it because I haven't talked to you guys in a couple of weeks. At least not in this capacity. I have went live a couple times on Facebook, and I do post kind of regularly. Now, if you are like me, then you keep up with some of the goings, comings and goings of um, the internet marketing people. I keep up with a lot of that stuff. I think the last live that I did was actually about Alex Hormozy and Nipsey Hussle. I've been trying to make sure that when I come on here, I actually have something worth watching, because some people just come on here every day just to say they're coming on here. But um, it's definitely time to step it up. Now, um, like I talked about a second ago, I try to keep up with the comings and goings of the internet marketing people. A lot of these people, they have motivated me. Some of them have actually shown me the right thing to do and the wrong thing to do. You got to keep up with the people that's ahead of you and the people that's doing what you're trying to do. And these are some of the people that you can learn from. As I just stated, you can learn positively and negatively what to do, what not to do. Um, Janae White. Janae White was uh, put on blast about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. Janae White is from Jacksonville, Florida, and Janae White was selling turnkey. And what a turnkey business is it's a business where the founder has the whole business mapped out. All you have to do is put your money in, and you are promised some type of return. And these turnkey businesses are not necessarily a scam, but if the returns are too good to be true, this is usually a cause for alarm. In this case, Janae White was seemingly successful at running Airbnb apartments and houses in Florida and around Florida. And she told people that she would start their businesses for between seven and $13,000, and people invested in these Airbnb properties. And what was supposed to happen is Janae was supposed to get the property, make sure the lease was secured. She was supposed to maintain the property, and she was supposed to, um, get people in and out of this property to maintain the scheduling. And Janae White completely dropped the ball. I don't know if she set out for this to be a scam, but once she seen that she can take advantage of the situation, she obviously took advantage of the situation. So what happened here was Janae started to collect money from all of these unsuspecting people who thought they were going to get returns between 30 and 100 or sometimes more percent. And these people invested in these turnkey Airbnb properties that Janae White was supposed to manage and give them a return every month. What happened was Janae started to take the profits and she was giving everybody the same P&L sheet. She was giving everybody the same P&L sheet, and a P&L sheet is the profit and loss sheet, and she was doing this every month. And what happened was a couple people started to smell fish, and they created a Facebook group where a lot of the people who suspected Janae of taking advantage of them joined this group, and it's now up to like 10,000 people. And all of these people are in a group. Now, some of these people may just be being a little bit nosy. You have to give some room for people that's just joining the group to be nosy, because that is what people do. Right? They want to know what's going on. But let's say 50 people were actually scammed by this young lady. That's 50 people too much. So in our community, we have started to see success in financial investments and literacy and different things like that. And we think that these vehicles are a little slow. You want to turn 10,000 into 20,000 in a year. And that's not necessarily realistic with a passive investment. With a passive investment, a 3% to 8% return is realistic. 3% kind of normal. 8% you have a great investment. When people start to promise you things like 50%, 100%, or 150%, you have to stop and do your research. Even if they found success in something, they should not be promising you 150% return on your investment, because that's unrealistic. Now, you can find people who are making these type of investments that can give you a better return than you would get on your own, because they have the experience, they've taken some losses themselves, and they know what to avoid. But 150%, even 100% return is so unrealistic. You have to consider this to be a scam. And this was no different. Janae White had a bunch of people that seen her be successful, and they wanted some of that success without putting in the work. And trying to avoid the work usually gets you worked. Right? I didn't mean for that to come out like that. And I'm not making fun of the victims, but if you tell somebody this is going to be a little work, this is how we got to do it. You got to get in the gym. You got to watch what you eat. You got to do X, Y, and Z. They don't want to do that. We have created a microwave culture where people want results, and they want these results immediately and exponentially. So people want their money to make money, but not in a way that our parents are looking at investing in something. Like, we're looking at something like, oh, I can flip that right quick. I could spend 100, I can make two. I could spend 100, I can make 250 and 300, whatever. And you are finding yourself being scammed more and more and more and more. Now, the internet has something to do with that, because more people have access to you, and you have access to more information. So if people are throwing something in your face with ads and different things like that, or you are in a group and you're watching somebody, show all of these different shades of success, and you like, dog, I need to get that. I'm going to spend this last 10,000 and I'm gonna make it 20 with Janae White, and that just don't happen most of the time. Now, I'm not saying that something like this could not really propel you to the next level, but I'm saying most of the time, if somebody is promising you 50, 100, 150% return on anything, they're lying to you. They're lying to you. These are real degrees behind me. I am a real MBA, and I'm telling you, I cannot take your $1,000 and turn it into $3,000 guaranteed. Now, there are things that I can invest in, and there are things that I can do based on my experience. Like, say if I was a real estate developer and you wanted to get into real estate, you can curve the learning curve a lot. Um, if you just find somebody that's been there. And I'm all for that. I'm all for paying for mentorships. I'm all for paying for consulting or coaching, different things like that. But I'm telling you, if somebody tells you, just give me the $10,000 and I get you 20 back, it's a complete scam. I'm not. I'm going to say about 90 to 95% of the time is a scam. I'm not going to say that somebody may not have something going on to where they are. I'm going to say legally. I'm going to say legally, a person should not be telling you they can double your money. Legally, a person should not promise you to double your money. And realistically, you should not be in touch with a person like this and actually believe 'em. After Janae White, after they created this group and they started talking about what she was doing and who she was scamming and how she was scamming, and people started getting in this group and saying, "Hey, I've been a victim. I've been a victim. I've been a victim." She started going on Facebook, cussing these people out and telling them they ain't gonna get their money back. Call the police, file a lawsuit, and that's what they started doing. And as they started filing these lawsuits, they started digging into her finances, and come to find out, she definitely made off with 1 million or better in OPP, other people's money. But now she's claiming she does not have about 30 something thousand, it's like 30 to 35,000 to pay back the person that she actually just lost the lawsuit against. And she's saying, "Hey, I don't even have a bank account and I haven't had one in a year or two, but my boyfriend has my funds and my boyfriend takes care of me," or whatever, baby daddy, whoever he is. Come to find out, this baby daddy is actually a drug kingpin that was caught up in an indictment in the late 80s, got out in the 90s after cooperating, and then caught another case in the 2000s. Like, this is the type of stuff that you see in like movies and nigga novels, but you rarely see this type of thing in real life. But she is claiming that this man has been taking care of her, and she's had some of her clients pay to his account. Now they're requesting his his records, and it's like, dude, I'm sure that this man has done something illegal because he was already indicted on a big old drug conspiracy. After cooperating, he was indicted again on another drug conspiracy. After being indicted again, he's back out and probably doing something else illegal. And she's putting the spotlight on whatever he's doing. So let's keep up with that situation and see what happens to Janae White. Now, before I get into one of the bigger stories online, I want to talk about this story with Young Thug, right? The reason I want to talk about the story with Young Thug is because I have faced some of the illegal situations that he's going through or that he went through, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. Young Thug is a victim of the system. I don't mean that in, oh, the system is trapped again. Like, no, the prison pipeline is real. And what people need to realize is the glorification of snitching and the commercialization of snitching is only benefiting one class of people, and that is the police. It's only benefiting the police. And it's too obvious. Even the phone conversations being leaked has significance in the overall picture of what's going on. If the phone calls are leaked and people start to talk and their phones are being tapped, these calls are being recorded. So these phone calls being released are just to stir the water. It's just to stir the water. Look what he said about y'all. Look what he said about y'all. Look what he said about y'all. They obviously had these tapes before he was released, but they held him until he beat the system, and then they were like, "Now deal with this." The police are playing with people's lives because some things that's being said over this phone could piss some people off who have the means to carry out some of the things that usually happens when you find out what people are saying about you behind your back. And Thug can do as many interviews as he want to do, and Thug could, you know, try to negate most of the negative press about the situation by saying, "Hey, these my brothers. We talk about this same stuff in private and blah blah blah." But at the end of the day, the the police are just stirring the water, and when they stir the water, um, it's just gonna get things to come out in the open. You're gonna get people talking. Yeah, man, he this. Yeah, man, he that. Yeah, blah blah blah. And that's more information for them to take in. I had a third topic, but I think I want to save that one for his own topic, y'all. So I'm gonna cut this one a little short, but um, I may be back a little later on today. I got another topic that I kind of want to. I may just keep it his own topic, y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. I just wanted to tap in with y'all.